The Beach FM Business Lunch Show, brought to you by PlaceMakers Kapiti Horowhenua. Together we're building New Zealand.
Welcome back to the Business Lunch Show on Beach FM 106.3 on your Monday afternoon. Now, Pete, times are changing at the moment. We are working differently. We're thinking differently. Do we need to make the big trek into the city centre anymore? Well, let's talk working office spaces with Kapiti Collective, Hannah Delaney. G'day, Hannah. Hello.
Hi, Damian. Nice to be on the show. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. I thought it was an interesting time at the moment because we're seeing a lot of change in how we work, whether it be from home or satellite offices or anything. And that's where I thought Kapiti Collective, you could be perfect people to talk to. So first and foremost, what we do on the show is we just get a little bit of background of who you are, your background, how this all started out, and how you guys have been performing at the moment. Well, not at the moment, but pre-COVID. I know.
Awesome. Thanks, Damian. Well, my background is largely in, I've got two businesses here on the coast. I've got Kapiti Collective, which is the shared office space in Parapara Beach, and then I've got a public relations agency here as well called Delaney and Co. Public Relations. And my background is largely in communications. I was looking after communications for a mid-tier technology company in Wellington for their communications across Australia and New Zealand. And I think it was about 2014, I started to realise that all of the marketing and public relations that I'd been learning from, obviously they'd been partnering with global players like Google and Amazon, and started to watch how they were achieving brand awareness and how they were achieving business goals, and thought actually we could bring that out to the smaller businesses in our community and really start to see some positive business results. So in 2014, I created Delaney PR, now Delaney and Co. And about 2 years later, I created this small little office space that we've got out here, just so that people had a place to collaborate and a professional office space for people to do projects on. And that's basically how it all started.
Brilliant. Over the years, we've seen the business world open up. More entrepreneurs, more people trying those lifelong dreams that they always wanted to do. But, it can be scary thinking offices, payroll, et cetera, But when it's just you starting by yourself, sometimes you just need a desk to get away from places, and that could be the perfect fit for something like your business.
Absolutely. I think connecting in to the local business community is so important, and having people around you that have been going through the same things. I know that when I first started business wasn't something I'd ever planned to get into, but I saw a need out here and absolutely didn't want to do the commute anymore into Wellington, as I'm sure a lot of people don't anymore as well. And the opportunity to start a business, it was just the right time to do so. And so having this shared space has been really great. It's been a place where a lot of people are in similar sort of positions. We've got contractors and professionals, as well as people starting their own businesses that are out based here. And it's just really great to have, shared ideas and perspectives and to be able to make friends with people that are in the same boat as yourself, which is good.
Absolutely. One of the things that we do like, I'm glad you mentioned sharing, because we do like to share and learn from each other. So when you did start out business, you had your background in communications, but business is a whole different beast on some levels. What were some of those things that you just didn't know and you had to learn pretty quickly?
Yeah, it was really interesting. I'm really passionate about business, and I'm really passionate about startup businesses as well. And so I think I really just got my head into absolutely everything. I attended some startup weekends as well. We do startup Kapiti weekends, which teach you a lot about how to be very agile. And I guess that was the biggest thing for me, was how to learn things in small business, like how to pivot quickly, how to identify what value you're going to add to a particular market, and are you going to get value in return, and what that value looks like, so that if it's not there, you can change your business idea quite quickly and start to see real results. So those sorts of ideas were really ones that come over the years of trying different things. But I was very lucky. I was very passionate about it, and I've been very fortunate to work in a lot of different types of businesses as well, to really understand a lot of different industries and a lot of different types of small businesses.
Fantastic. So I'm hearing key to success. Well, it's key to those good principles is the sharing, the communication, the not being too afraid to use those people that are around you.
Absolutely, and to leap in and to ask the questions that may seem silly, but just lean in and kind of be fearless, because in business you do make mistakes, and to get anywhere you really do need to lean in, to ask questions, to collaborate with those around you, even if it is a little bit scary.
Hey, pre-COVID-19, we'll be seeing a lot of this, a lot of those desks filled up in that shared office. A lot of people have started to change the way they think. Even pre-COVID-19, if they don't have to make the trek in and they got the internet and a plug, then, we're away laughing sometimes.
Yeah, we've had a really great client base at Kapiti Collective. We run a little bit differently from many co-working spaces, so we aren't a full-on manned space, right. Meaning everybody has keys and they come and go, and they have a booking system, so they manage themselves. So it's an office that they have absolute freedom to come and go 24/7 as they please. And we've had a very steady number of, especially contractors, so people that have already had those arrangements with their employers in place before COVID-19, where they could do a certain number of days out in Kapiti and didn't have to do the commute, so that they could be in their local region with their families.
Awesome. Hey, and of course, a global pandemic hit us where we couldn't even share a couple meters between each other. How did that affect you guys? Was it full shutdown and time to restart and refresh and think differently?
Absolutely. So it was full shutdown. It was everybody's health and safety came absolutely top priority, and at the time, obviously, it was a pretty unknown time as well. So we absolutely just said suspended all contracts and just said nobody has to worry about paying or anything while they're not using the space, but we just want to keep everybody safe. We've opened again in level 2, which has been great. We've seen about half the people back, coming and going again, and we've got a few people still waiting on level 1. Obviously, some people are still just wanting to make sure that there's no cases still out in New Zealand, but then we expect everything to go back to normal at level 1. And like we were saying before, I think there's just this increased sense of trust with employers now. With everybody working from home, businesses still continued with people working in different environments. And I think it's been a really good thing for employers to see that and see that co-working spaces and working from home are real options that really could improve the lives of people around them.
Oh, well said. They literally are. You move, take away the commute, you take away all that stuff, and more productive, definitely. Hey, with this change, we've seen a lot of businesses pivot. Some are going to the week on, off at the moment, where they clean the offices in the weekend. So limited office space is being used. Therefore, leases are getting looked at, changed, cancelled. With this, are we going to see a bigger change in focus? The more satellite offices, like someone that doesn't need to go into Wellington every day, but needs a quiet room away from the kids or the barking dogs, if you will, to go away and book it out and continue with life as normal, the odd day a week, if they will.
Yeah, I think there's always been a need for those sorts of people that actually, the kitchen bench isn't going to cut it, or they get distracted from, being at home and having, small children around, or piles of washing or dishes or things like that. So I think with what's happened recently, it's kind of been highlighted that, yes, working from home is fantastic, but also having a space that's, maybe not all the way where they normally go, where the office is in Wellington or Palmerston, but having a little place where they can go that's productive, that's clean and tidy, where they can actually be very, very focused on their work, and also, see people in there that, they can say hi to as well. I know that this time was very lonely for many people, so being connected to that business community is quite important.
Absolutely. Well, I won't take up too much of your time. I've already taken up heaps. But lastly, where to from here, do you think? Not that I'm giving you a crystal ball kind of thing, but the times are changing, and this is definitely a different way to think. So where do you think to from here?
I think a lot of businesses now have really stopped and been able to reassess during this time, and reassess how they add value to their clients. And I know for us at Delaney & Co, that was something that we used that time to really do. We found that the types of value that we were adding had to change to better meet their needs. And one of those ways was really international, helping clients in international markets and building relationships online with practitioners and consultants overseas. So we've been using a lot of LinkedIn, and we've got subcontractors now in Australia and Canada helping our Wellington-based clients in those markets. So it's really about finding out what your clients, what their needs are right now, whatever industry that you're in, and going, how can I really help? What can I do with my skill set to really help? And the same thing for Kapiti Collective. What are they needing right now? And how can we help with that?
Well said. Well said. Hannah, thank you so much for your time. Lastly, as always on the show, we always ask, where can people find you and how can they get in touch?
Oh, fantastic. Well, you can find me, Hannah Delaney, on LinkedIn, or you can find me on, if you're interested in Kapiti Collective, the shared office space, it's www.kapiticollective.co.nz, or if you're interested in public relations and marketing communications help, it's Delaney PR, DELANEYPR.co. There's no NZ, it's just .co.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today,
Awesome.
Hannah. Go well. Look after yourself, and we'll catch up soon and see how everything's going as we get closer to that level 1. Fingers crossed today.
Thank you so much, Damian.